Today we'll see how we can work with Salesforce connector. First, we'll just in order to work with the Boomi Salesforce connector, the first thing what prerequisite should be we should be having a Salesforce account. So you can use your any email ID so to create a Salesforce trial account, and once you create an account and then you just change the password and just re-log in into Salesforce. And once you log in, the prerequisite is while connecting from Delbumi, you need to have the what the details you need. Basically, let me just show you the details. Let's go here and let's try to have a connection. Let's select type of the connector should be a Salesforce. Just create any connection. So in order to connect the Boomi to the Salesforce application, basically you need to enter the URL, username, and password. So this password is not directly your simple password. You have to give the combination of the password plus security token. You have to give this combination. Let's say password is ABC and security token is XYZ and something. You have to give like ABC XYZ. But when you are creating a new account, the first thing you need to do, you need to reset the security token for your account. So by default, what happens? So security token will not be generated. So first, you need to generate a security token, and then you can use your actual password that you will be using to log in into Salesforce, and then the security token. Once you create reset the security token, the security token will be sent out an email to the registered Salesforce account, and Salesforce email user ID, Salesforce password, and Salesforce reset token. These three combinations, these three details you basically required in order to work, in order to use the Salesforce connector in a Boomi. So let's see how we can work with this, how we can refresh this, how we can reset the security token. Let's click on this. Let's click on settings. So once you click on here, view profile, you can see the option called settings. Okay, and on settings you can directly go here. Once you click on this icon, the smiley icon, and then you will be able to see settings button here. Once you click on settings, you can see this window will be open. In this window, you just have to go for reset my security token. So you just have to click on this reset security token. And you have to remember one more thing: each and every time when you change your when you Salesforce password, each and every time when you change the Salesforce password, even security token also should be modified, because that will be automatically updated with your password. So because once it is updated, you won't get any email for security token. So you have to click on reset security token, so that the actual token will be sending out an email. Actual say it's kind of a multiple characters, so you can just verify the email ID that you have been used for registering the Salesforce account. So once you click on this button reset security token, you'll be getting a security token for your Salesforce account, and you have to use user ID and password and security token as a password for the Delbumi password, so that you will be able to configure it. So let's try to use the existing Salesforce one. So what I wanted to do now, so as soon as you create Salesforce trial account, so there will be some certain types of predefined information will be available in Salesforce. So what I am going to do now, I am going to pull out all the accounts. I'm going to pull out all the Salesforce accounts which are available in Salesforce, and then I want to encrypt a file, and then encrypted file, by default the Salesforce, how basically the Salesforce will be interacting. Let's just go to the Salesforce connector. Let's go for connectors. before giving all the details. Go for public connectors, application connectors, and search for Salesforce connector. So if you see how basically the Salesforce connector will be working, and Salesforce connector connects seamlessly to any Salesforce application, including Sales Cloud service as well as any custom cloud or force.com. But how basically it working? Integrating the Salesforce consists of web services calls. Utilize the XML request or response set up over HTTPS connection. So always a Salesforce connector. Okay, always a Salesforce connector will be see any application because Salesforce connector is a kind of a SaaS based application, cloud based application. When you are integrating the Delbumi with any SaaS based application, let's say so- sorry, when you are integrating a Delbumi with any Salesforce connector, so all let's say all the cloud systems like SuccessFactor or Salesforce, NetSuite, Workday, all these are like kind of SaaS-based applications. And whenever Delbumi is integrating with these Salesforce SaaS-based applications, each and every SaaS-based application they will be providing a kind of an API. So we in web service. In middleware technology we can call it as a web services. So using that API, Delbumi has built a connectors, application specific connectors. Means once you are using a Salesforce connector, you can only able to connect to the Salesforce applications using the Salesforce connector. And if you are using SuccessFactor, you have to use only SuccessFactors to connect to the SuccessFactor application. But they have, it's not like generic connectors, it's application specific connectors. But they have given certain types of an actions, and those actions basically defined based on the API provided by the corresponding SaaS based application. So here also each and every SaaS based application will be providing will be connecting the Delbumi with in terms of a web service calls utilizing XML as a protocol for request and response and over HTTPS connection. But even though it is using an HTTP connections, we no need to add any kind of a certificates for enabling HTTPS communication between the Delbumi to Salesforce. It internally handle everything. Okay, so this is how the Salesforce or Delbumi how it will connect to the Salesforce. Now let's go ahead and create a new process. What I'm going to do, I'll be going to connect to a Salesforce and I'm going to query all the accounts which are available in Salesforce, and then I'll be transforming the data into a flat file, and after that I'm going to convert it to an encryption PGP encryption will be applying. After that I'm going to drop this particular file to an Sftp server. So let's see how we can create it. So this was a process I'm going to create. Click on create. Let's configure Salesforce, and we will be using a get because we are going to query the connector. Let's click on the connection. We already showed you how to build the connection, so I can use the same thing. If you just see here, this was my username and this was all these things, the password, and then you can just click on operation. Click on an operation. So when you click on an operation, this kind of an operation wizard will be creation of an operation will be similar for each and every SaaS based applications. Let's say if you are see the way how you are configuring the Salesforce kind of operation, a similar way even you can configure for SuccessFactors application also. So we don't have an option. See, you can see object was a non-editable field and it was set to none, and even you don't see any request and response profiles over here. You can just see you don't have any option like request profile, something response profile. You can see that you don't have an option of to configure the profile for the response profile. So these are all like non-editable fields. but only these fields will be automatically configured with the import wizard. Let's see. Now let's click on import wizard. So the same, this for all application connectors, this the way how we are importing, it will be same. Only the thing is, you might be selecting sometimes atoms, or you might be selecting cloud. This time it is only asking for the connection. Let's say if you are going for success factor, it might be showing a different option, but the procedure would be the same. Click on next. When I click on next, what happens? It will be taking the all the Salesforce credentials, all the URL, and then username and password and all these things, and it will trying to connect to it will Delbumi is trying to use a default atom or something and trying to connect to the Salesforce. Then so click on next. If whatever, and you can see logging into. So once if login is successful, once its login is successful, then it will be showing a list of objects that can be managed from the that can be managed by the Salesforce connector. You can just see, you can just see, you can just see you can just see what list of an objects that can be queried, or we can be insert, update, or delete, managing. All these objects can be managed from the say, using Delbumi. So because we have selected an action called get, connector action called get, so we'll be showing only the inbound actions. But whereas when you select the connector action as a send, you might be showing different options like insert, update, delete, upsert, all the different options will be showing. So as of now, I wanted to query only the account information. Click on next. So, and it will just basically going into these accounts. We can just see different, you can just go here and let's click on all accounts, and it will be showing list of all accounts. And so these accounts, whatever the structure, let's click on any one of the account. Let's try to see the details. And whatever these details are there for the account, all these details will be metadata will be extracted. Metadata will be extracted into an XML profiles automatically. And then you can just see so many fields are there, but you don't need to all looking into all these fields. You can just take everything as defaults. Click on next. So you can see object type was set to an account, an operation object action would be a query, and response profile would be this one. If you can click on finish, all these fields will be automatically set with these values. Let's see. Click on finish. You can see earlier we have seen an object with a none. Earlier we have seen object with none, and action also will be nothing. So but we don't have an option to edit these values. So only these, and even the response profile also we don't have we don't have any options like browse or edit, or plus option was not available basically for us. So only these three options, okay, these three options can be set the values using the only import wizard. So after that, if you just come down and scroll it down, you can just see there is an option called show SOQL. Is there nothing but Salesforce Object Query Language. Let's click on this button. So it automatically showing that kind of a SQL statement, looks like SQL statement. It's just going and just giving all these kind of elements from this particular object. Now let's click on save. If you want to see the profile, let's click on this edit profile, and it's trying to load this, and you can see this is an XML profile. Since we are going to use an outbound connector, basically we don't need any kind of inbound connections. Basically we don't need any kind of inbound or request profile. We need, since query always returns the data, it will be having only response profile. But whereas when you are just going and observing for the Salesforce inbound connectors, maybe you might be requiring the request profile only. Okay, this is how all all these fields would be returning once we run the Salesforce connector. Let's click on save and close. Click on OK and click on save, and then try to put the stop and then stop. Click on run test. So once we run it, it will be just listing a number of each and every documents. Okay, it will be just listing each and every document into a one document. We just open how many number of accounts we retrieved, six accounts. Let's go and verify here how many number of accounts was there in Salesforce. Let's click on all accounts, and you can just see 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 and 5 and 6. These are 6 accounts we have. Let's try that we are able to receive all these 6. You can just see one is active sample name is, other one is global media sample, so salesforce.com. Next one will be something Boomi Incorporation, test company, test company. You can see we were able to extract all the accounts from the Salesforce. Now what we wanted to do, we want to convert the Salesforce accounts data in XML format to flat file. Let's see. But and what I wanted to do here, because I am getting each and every record as a one XML, each and every record as a one XML. I'm getting each and every I'm getting each and every record as a one XML. So I wanted to convert this to flat file, and then I wanted to do the combine, and then I wanted to go for encryption. Let's see first how we'll be able to convert this to flat file. So it's the same thing what we done earlier. Let's go for flat file conversion, because even Salesforce or SuccessFactors connector, this might be the like common requirement where you might be getting some kind of all accounts details in a flat file and need to be uploaded into Salesforce, or even Salesforce from Salesforce we need to give reports like how many number of accounts has been updated per daily, all these kind of like frequent requirements. You can configure, you can plus, you can choose. This would be an XML. This was a query response we want to map, and then I wanted to convert it to a flat file. So let's try to create a flat file here. Let's go here. Let's click on choose. Let's click on let's select the profile type to flat file, and then click on create new profile. Let's give the same name. So let's rename this as an account. Let's click on ID. Let's create some of the elements here. Let's create some of the main elements. Even if you want, even you can just make this particular element as a mandatory element. It means if your this particular field was not when you are reading the file, right, when you are reading a file from this connector and this particular file column was not available in the plot file, so it will even throw an error also, because this is a mandatory field and this particular field should have value always. Even you can enforce that kind of restrictions also. The same thing here, and add a couple of elements again. And then we just finish up with four more elements. Just add some other elements like number of and description and own website, industry description, and number of employees. And just add four elements. So with this, we were able to create a plot file profile. Click on 7 close. You can just map each and every field.
Wayman, can't we click movie suggest right now? Automatically.
I think it will take. I think it took properly. Now both names are matching, right? So I think we can do it. We can use the Boomi suggest. If names are different, then it won't match. If you want to search any kind of field also, maybe you can just put like this and you can able to find out, and you can just try to map this particular field was mapped or not.
Okay.
Just see any other things left. The reason the white was named is here can was description, and here it was description T. Some other value was just added over here. That's the reason this particular field was not mapped automatically, because names are not matching. on 7 close. So with this what we were do, we were able to retrieve all the accounts from the Salesforce, and then we were able to uh, convert this to flat file, and then we'll just run it and we'll just verify here. So you can just see, but we don't have any columns are not getting printed out now. Even I wanted to write columns also. How do we can make sure that? And you can just see each and every record was transformed into flat file. But the thing is, column headers was not written. So let me just do a change here. Go for flat file. Use column headers. And then run this time. If you see, but we were getting delimiter as a star, and even we are not surrounding. You see, this time we were getting column headers, but values, what we are getting values, values are not enclosed in double quotations, and delimiter was wanted to change the delimiter to comma. I want each and every value should be enclosed in double quotations, and I want to replace delimiter with comma. So let's modify that also. I want to change this as a comma, and I want to put text qualifier as a double quotations. Let's see this time how it will generate. We just open this document. This time we were able to see all the columns names as well as the values were enclosed in double quotations, and also each and every column delimiter would be a comma. So we, like this, even if you want to have a columns to be printed, you can enable the column headers, use column header checkbox, and even if you want to enclose each and every value to double quotations, and you can just modify these values. And now what I wanted to do, I wanted to convert this into, I want to combine. I don't want each of the record to be in separate document. I want all the records to be in one document. Let's click on plus, combine documents, and in combine documents what I wanted to do, I wanted to select the flat file profile. And how do you want to combine it? Do you want the column headers? You don't do while reaching the data to the data process shape. Do you have the column headers? No column headers, you can just select this. But if you have a column headers and if you want to retain the column headers, you just have to select this option. And if you don't want the column headers to be available, you can just select this. But I wanted to retain it. But another thing here is I wanted to count number of accounts was retrieving. I wanted to count number of accounts was retrieving. So let's see how we can take a count. First let's see the combining, and then we just verify how we can take the count. You can just see how these documents was coming. You can just see all the records are coming in. All the records are coming in single document now. But this will show as a number of documents. Still it will be showing as a number of documents. But when you put anything only one time only, this will be executing, because all the documents are coming. All this start shape was generating multiple documents, and it cannot disappear when you select here. Also it cannot disappear this wizard, but it will make number of documents to flow only one document. Let's see how you can get the number of documents. Maybe you can just use this one shape here.
Waymo, sorry to interrupt you. Can you open the output file once?
Not yet saved it. I'll open once I run it in next time. You can just take the account, take account count. But how do we take an account count? You can just use the custom scripting option, and you can just use the same function, get data count, means gets number of documents that are being processed. Get number of documents that are being processed. So what we are doing here, I am just going to I'll just because I just assign this particular value. I'll just assign this particular value to dynamic process property. Let's see how this will go. So once you click on it here, and we might have used the last script here. This was the last script we have. Want to use it, then execute this one as a, because I wanted to set a property here. I want to take the count, and with this count I wanted to create a new process property, dynamic process property, and then I wanted to set a value for the process property. So I wanted to set a process property here. Set an account property. So account property will be number of accounts, or else we can just put account count. Account count. So this one will be, we have to give just how to execute this one here. And after that you can just copy paste this to here. You want to see how many documents are flowing here, and then maybe you can just put it back. Let's see, I wanted to modify this particular I want to see account 1 something. I want to differentiate, otherwise both values will be overwrite. And then I wanted to see the values. I wanted to see what values was there. So if you have a license account, you can just put notify. Since I don't have the notify is enabled, what I'm going to do, I just put the message strip or something. One account count was before combining and account count one was after combining. And even if this one, because just trying this, if this option was not resulting as expected, then you can just put disconnector Sftp connector and you can verify how many number of document was generating. Let's click on test. I just wanted to show you that this way also you can take the count. Number of documents was flowing through, because when you are running in deploy mode, you won't be able to see how many documents were flowing. Okay, what it was taking, no signature of the method, static, execution set, dynamic process property is applicable for argument types. Set dynamic process property argument is applicable for types java.lang.string and java.lang.integer and java.lang.boolean. And account count, you can just see 6 and false. But the reason what happens here is always what happens, the dynamic process properties will store the value in terms of a string only. But what we are trying to do, invalid, you can just see no signature of the method static with this one. First one is string, fine, a property name could be a string, and the second one will be a number. This is not a number. Property is always the dynamic process property will store the data in terms of a string. So the reason we are getting here is we're just getting this as an integer. I think let's try to convert this to a string format here. Let's try to convert this as a to string. This is not converting, then we can do another option. We can convert the integer to string conversion. Let's see first this thing will work or not. You can just see this time it executed properly. I wanted to see the count both. So here you can just see first one was giving account number of documents was 6 and second one was giving as a number of documents was 1. It clearly shows you that showing that number of documents was flowing. After combining it is showing only one document. So this way you can use the count function to get the count of before and after.
Vema, can I open the flat file? Here we are getting some special characters, Chinese characters, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, there. Even in SnapLogic also I faced the same issue. If space is there, SnapLogic will treat it as a special character. So similar to like that, are we facing any problem like that? For that reason we are getting special characters.
Let's see what is this. Let's first copy this. What is the account? Where and all we're getting here. We're getting here. What is the account name? This was the account. This was the account called this one. Okay, what's the Salesforce sample? Salesforce.com sample. Let's open this canal. Let's open this particular account. This one. What we were getting here. I think these are like kind of what we are doing like is related false. Name would be this one. Type would be customer. And parent ID was null and billing state. And after that, again it was repeating email shipping address. After shipping address, we was some URL. Okay, what there is shipping address. Okay, let's see. Even we have some spaces. Let's see what this particular character was giving. Let's open this one completely. Mm, Here, we'll just verify what this was just mentioning. Salesforce.com is an enterprise cloud computing leader. Our social and mobile technologies, social and mobile cloud technologies. Actually, this was an icon. Icon was replacing as a icon was coming as a special characters. Maybe the encodings might be some kind of encoding issue. Let's see how we are getting.
Client will update.
Sorry,
Then client will update.
definitely it will object. Let's see whether we are getting same kind of XML data also or not. Suppose, like okay, next we have let's open it. Okay, let's open this. Let's open this XML.
Verma, instead of flat fill, why don't we convert to JSON? I faced the same issue in JSON and flat fill. Upload it.
Sorry,
Can you convert it to JSON instead of flat fill?
no, we can convert. There is no issue. We can just create a JSON. The way how we create a profile, we
Yeah,
can convert it.
even in JSON, if you face the same problem, I think there's a problem with patch.
Patch. See, it was only give
Yeah.
problem with hyphens. Maybe we can just verify. Maybe there any because in XML it was coming properly. Only when you convert the XML,
Yeah, yeah.
after you give.
It's coming properly, but in output file also it should display the same message, right?
Yeah, let's open it here.
Yeah. Why don't you try with converting JSON?
Mhm. Okay. Let's, but we don't have any option to represent the type of character also here. We don't have any options to represent. So we don't have any option that maybe we need to handle if we are identifying. We can just have to put no option. We may need to use some kind of functions to replace this value because we do have an option of search and replace here. we are getting that kind of an issue, we can just identify what most of them will be giving for description field. What you can do, you can just go for description field, original string, and take default values, and what is the character we are getting. Is this same character? I think both are different characters, right? No, I think this was giving technologies, cloud technologies, including. Oh, okay. I think maybe how we can handle that. Technologies. After that, it was giving the IRC one on CRM applications. Okay, wherever we have this kind. Hyphen was there was no spaces in between hyphen. We are getting that kind of an issue. How do we replace that? Let's see. Let's see. Just put hyphen with this hyphen. Just put space hyphen. Let's see how this thing will get done right now. This kind of an issue, maybe if just check with the Boomi support, they'll give us some workaround. Still we are getting. Are we really taking any space or not? This function was really executing or not? Let's see. Oh, we didn't map the original string. That means this everything. The original string was not mapped here. No, original string is mapped here. String to set, string to replace. Then why we are not getting this value? Okay, so let me give you. I don't want to get all the records. I want to get only this particular record. Okay, let's run it. Let's run it and then we'll verify it. Which document we are getting. Okay, it was not giving any problem. See what the special character, why movie was giving it, or it means it's a third document. Okay, let's go here, how this was executed. That's the first document. It's taking, yes, it is taking this time. And then original string and string replace. String replace didn't get anything output, was not giving any space. And that space was truncating it. Okay. And this is not considering that as space. Okay, maybe I think we cannot handle it with just search and replace. We cannot handle that here. How we can handle that? Even if you convert to JSON also you will have same issue, right?
Yeah, we'll try with JSON. We'll take that.
Yes, I'm kind of bugs are which we add these things and we directly show. Okay, let's say this is an object. Under that we can add some of the columns. What I wanted to mainly looking here, I want to looking name the two or three things. One is ID I want to verify. Another thing I want to verify. Name. The thing I want to verify is the description of the thing. Let's see whether they are able to map it. In that case, I need to put this as a, and just put combine as none. First, let's see instead of changing this one, I think we can directly put this. So let's we will get to know here exception coming. It should not give idle. This was invalid data only. So this was coming properly. This is coming properly. I think nothing is problem on your end here. Only we have some issue in the plot file only.
Emma, can you make it as a single file?
Sorry?
Can you make it as a single file?
You can make it.
6 records in
You want to make it a single file or fixed length file?
single file, 6 records in one file.
Okay. Accounts and account. Okay, let me just put this. Mm, okay, let's try to run this. We'll ignore everything this one. Let's put this back. Let's try this combine option. This is not an option. We can have another way. We can directly do it quickly. I think this was coming properly. ID name. But the other one, for the first one, you don't have any description. Second one, we do have a description. Then you can just see even it was not interrupting anything. And here for third one, you can just see it's coming properly. And you can just see all these values. Account was started and account was ended. So this time you can just put this as and we can just put, we can apply the encryption here. You can add another step here itself, encryption, PGP encryption, and you can just write it back here. And you can just put some kind of Sftp connector or something. Just put send, take everything default. If you want to override any parameters, you can just put this one. What you can do, even you can just do another one is an here you can just apply encryption. And do the same thing here also for That's all. One side will be generating a encrypted file, another side will be generating just an sample file. So let's go and verify what directly it is going to write the files. Movie out folder. For here. Still running. Did I just say the mirror is the files? In this one side will be having accounts information and each account is a repeating element, and then other side will be a PGP. So this way you can just use a Sftp, a Salesforce connector to extract all the Salesforce records, and then you can use a map shape to convert from one profile format to another profile format, and the way how we can use data process shape for combining all into a single document, and even you can use the data process shape for executing count also, and even same you can use for doing the encryption, and then you can just set the one data for PGP encryption, another data will be without PGP encryption. So we will see how we can create an account and how we can update an account to tomorrow. So any
Vema, now we only one record, right?
sorry,
One account. Now we are getting one account.
multiple accounts, right?
Here it's showing one account.
Where
Not two.
here it's
Okay.
showing multiple accounts here. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Sorry. And one more thing, Vema, we are encrypting the data and we are sending to the user, right?
Yes.
In user and how he can decrypt the file, how he can
Private
understand.
certificate. Already. So we already discussed about when we are using a public certificate, we are encrypting means, and they will be able to decrypt only when they have the private certificate. So ideally, whoever has the private certificate, then they will be sharing us the public key, and we'll be using that we'll be configuring, we'll be importing the public key, and using the import, we'll be generating a certificate, public certificate, and we will be going to use the new data process.
Uh, if you are sending the encrypted file through email, how we can understand?
Oh, we can see that. See, the reason why we are sending an email, the reason why we are sending encrypting is, and it should not be accessed by unauthorized person.
Okay.
That's the only simple. So if whatever you want to send an email, you want to send an SFTP, or you want to send a web service connector, just have to replace the connector with SFTP connector with specific connector.
Okay. It's clear, Vema.
On
Yeah.
the mail connector, you just have to configure SMTP server. Then only mail server
Yeah.
will be working.
Yeah. Vema, tomorrow can you check with Delbumi's support regarding the special character which we are getting
You
in
don't have any
that file?
access. If you have a license account, you can raise a ticket with the Boomi support. They are not going to assist any kind of the trial accounts or non-customer, non-licensing customers.
Okay.
Maybe if you have, you can just go for the community. There you can just go verify it, how to resolve that. And if you don't get any answer, you can just raise a ticket on the support. Just go for support Once you are logging into Boomi, it automatically takes the same credential for logging into Boomi support. And if you are licensed customer and you have a dedicated premium support is enabled for your Boomi for the Boomi account, you can directly raise a ticket. Okay, then you can just meet tomorrow. I'll just share you this video as soon as possible. So tomorrow we're going to see how we can convert, how we can create and update an account.
Okay. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.